All right, Dr. George Schofield joins us once again. It's time for Focus 50 Plus.
Good morning.
And we're building upon what we started last week.
That's
we focused
right.
on men in aging, now women in aging.
Right.
And losses.
And we talked about losses because we experienced the losses just in the shift of roles, ROLES. So we talked about men last week. I want to talk about women this week, and let it be said that the big difference between men and women is slowly going away because after the war, World War II, women stayed home and raised kids for the most part, and men went to work. Well, you know what? That's disappeared. So when we have these losses, women are experiencing many of the same role losses as men.
Which in particular are what? What are some of the losses?
Well,
that
the one of them might be that this woman has worked as a nurse all these years, and now she's going to retire in addition to having a family. She might not be with her community of other nurses and other professionals, if you will, and it was always intense. There was a purpose. So there's the loss of role, there's a loss of community, and there's a loss of that kind of intensity that we get used to. So that's not so different from men.
Is what about making it more manageable? Is that the same as men?
So this is, I think, where women actually have an advantage.
Okay.
Generally speaking, the women I've worked with are better at creating communities than the men are. So what's to make it manageable for women, I believe, is to pay real attention to the communities that you want to belong to as you age. Just because you're in a community today and it works for you doesn't mean it's the community for you 6 years from now.
Exactly. That's very true. Yeah.
So it's really important to pay attention, because what helps you manage some of these losses, which are, and loss we think of as being a bad thing, it's not necessarily a bad thing, you know. I say to some of my clients, so you're right on schedule.
Right.
You don't need therapy for this, you need to work with the fact that you're right on schedule. So I think for a lot of the women that come and work with me individually as part of couples, that the whole idea is it's really important to pay attention to the communities and to have some new interests of your own.
And that's how they can go about just.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Because if they'll do those things sort of in step and pay attention and devote enough time to them, the loss and the transition is so much easier, clear across our aging.
All right.
Okay?
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Always good, great information.
Good, and we'll see you next week, Kathy.
Yes, all
Thank
right.
you.
We'll be back after this.